Hey guys, Ring at 421 here. I'm going to show you today how to lower the trigger pull on your Savage Axis rifle. On the non-XP or the non-Axis 2, the Axis 2 comes with the Naki trigger now, so this is just the regular Axis or the Savage Edge, same thing. Start off, remove the magazine, get that out of the way. Then you're going to need a 30 seconds Allen wrench, or Allen key. And you're only going to take off the back action bolt. Just get that out of the way, and that'll take the trigger guard off. It's only purpose of taking this off. Once we get that out, there we go. And the front. Okay, so now we have the stock off by removing the 2 action screws. What we're aiming to do here is do like a non-adjustable Accu trigger. So, to lighten up that spring weight there, we will then lower the trigger pull. So, rifle's cocked now. All the pressure is on that sear from the spring that we showed you inside that bolt in the last video. So now when you pull that, when you push that trigger back, you're compressing the spring back here, and that's going to let the sear drop past. Just like that. So that spring pressure there, that's what we want to reduce. So in order to do that, you have to pull this little C-clip off here, drop that pin out the backside, remove the trigger, and then you're going to cut about 1 coil to 1.5 coils. You don't want to take too much, or else you're not going to have enough spring pressure to keep the sear from disengaging, and it'll make the firearm unsafe. So I did this on my 223, and it made it shoot so much better. It was unbelievable. So this gun is already a minute now with this heavy trigger, about 6-pound trigger. So hopefully with a 3 to 4 pound trigger, it'll shoot a whole lot better. When you lock the bolt down, all the pressure is held on the sear of the firing pin. Just watch right here. There. So now just the sear is holding that bolt, or the firing pin, from dropping and hitting the primer. Okay, so first step now, once you have the stock off, is to remove that that little clip. So I'm going to use needle nose pliers. See if I can grab it just underneath there. Okay, so we got it. Pop it off, don't lose it. So you're going to have to put that back on. So that's what the clip looks like. It's a camera will focus, but there we go. So that's what the clip looks like. So put that down somewhere safe where you won't lose it. And now push that pin out. Gotta get started here. There we go. So the pin's out. I'm just going to leave it just started on the back side. So as you can see here, there's your spring. So we're going to take off a coil and a half. Start with the coil just to see how the trigger pull feels there. So once you take too much off, you're going to have to stretch the spring to get it to go back. So we'll cut it right where the spring meets. So 1 full coil off. We'll just see how that works. So there's 1 coil off. Another thing you could do too is you could always put a new spring in there, a weaker spring. I've seen people use springs from pens and mechanical pencils and stuff like that. Get these holes lined up. There we go. So now it's back in. We'll see if it made it any easier with 1 coil. That's still probably 5.5 pound trigger. So we'll try again. taking about a half more off. So once again, you got to pop that pin back out. A punch would work real well right now at this point, but don't have one handy. We're out in the shop, so now take a half coil off that, which brings us to about there. Wear safety glasses, by the way, too. It's flying shrapnel and stuff like that, you don't want to get that in your eye. Okay, where's that hole? There we go. Okay, try it again. There, much lighter. We're talking 3.5 pound trigger now. That's a much nicer trigger. There we go. Yeah, so this rifle took about a coil and a half off to get it to be around the 3.5 pound range just by feel, compared to my Timney that I've had tested a few times on my Remington. But my 223 Axis was about 6.5 to 7 pounds, and I did the same. I did about a coil and a half on that one as well, and it dropped it down to 3.5 pounds tested. So I'm assuming we're about the same spot there, but still, it's definitely a huge improvement over the 6 to 7 pound stock trigger weight. Yeah, it's so much better now. It's unbelievable. So that's a mod you can do at home with basic hand tools. You'll need a 5/32 Allen wrench, wire snips or cable snips or anything like that, needle nose plier, and if you have one handy, which I did, I just didn't see it, a punch or a poker, scraper, something like that, something to punch the pin out with. Makes it a lot easier on you. And then just reassemble it same way you disassembled it.